Hey guys, we're out here in front of the Myers house in Pasadena, California.
Yay!
And it is a pretty hectic day out here. Obviously, Halloween Ends just released. You got Monsterpalooza in town. They've got people painting the house behind us. They've had about 100 people come up and take pictures with the house. We have this like 2-second window just to be like, hi, how's it going? Let's talk about this movie really quick. So Halloween Ends, a very divisive film. No matter what you say about it, you're going to get blasted in the comments below, so bring it on. We're fine with that. We are here to share our opinions on the film.
Yeah.
Now, I am not a massive fan of the last two. I think there's great things. I think there's terrible things. And I think there's things that are kind of blah. And that kind of leaves me blah on the last two overall. She loves both the other two.
Yes.
And we had saved our opinions for this. And I have to say, as divisive as the film is, and I want to say that I love divisive films. I love when films take risks. And I'm all about them going and trying something new. But does it work? That's all that matters. And it's always going to be dependent on your tastes. And with it, for me personally, I really enjoyed this movie. I just think that they fumbled some things, especially with the Laurie Myers storyline. But that's not the main focus of the movie. Now, the person who had to make the trailer for this film, I can't even imagine the job that they were tasked with. Because, I mean, how do you market this film? It's a film that takes gigantic risks and is all spoilers, but then the people who want to see this movie, just so you guys know, we are in front of train tracks.
Yep.
If you guys know the story of how the Myers house was moved over here, you understand where it currently sits, and a train comes every freaking 5 minutes. I mean, seriously, so often it's crazy. I'm always like, oh, we'll have this window anyways.
And then the train comes?
Yes, it does. Now, there is a character introduced here, Corey Cunningham, and this is going to be a character you're either into or you're not.
Yeah.
And what'd you think?
I loved it.
Here comes the train.
I loved it. I was really into so much of the movie. I love the risks that are taken. I love the originality of the film. I really love the dialogue, which is something that I think a lot of people, yourself included, had problems with Halloween Kills. And this, by far, has the best writing and the best dialogue of the three films. So I was really into it, but I like weird things. I like when films take risks, especially, and I think that this was actually really successful in the end, so.
Yeah, it's easily the best directed of the three for me. And, you know, it is a bold movie. And, you know, it took a lot of balls to make the movie, and is yet another film that I completely understand when people hate it. And I completely understand when people love it. You know, I thought all the Corey Cunningham stuff, for the most part, there's an abruptness to it that I was not a fan of.
Yes,
and
me
I
too.
feel like that's under time constraints.
Yeah,
and I really would have loved to have seen this fleshed out in at least the last movie and this one, if not the entirety of this new trilogy, because I do think that this was a last minute idea. I think a very good idea for me personally. But I'm somebody who isn't a Halloween purist as much as I love the franchise. I'm somebody who defends Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 all the time because I think it is a direction I want to see the franchise go in. I want to see something different. If I want to see this first movie, I'll watch the first movie.
Well,
I'm fine taking risks.
Yeah, that's the thing with these like legacy slashers, is that in order for them to stay like a living character and a living story, there has to be new things introduced to it. And that doesn't mean that you like need to get rid of them entirely, in my opinion, but I think that injecting it with this new story was a fantastic idea. But as you said, there's an abruptness to it that was a bit of a disappointment for me, because I was already really invested in the story and would have just wanted to see it, you know, lengthened. So
make no mistake about it, in no way am I suggesting that if you're somebody who's like a purist, or that you don't want to see this film challenged, or you just didn't like the way that this went, that you're wrong. Not at all. Not in the slightest.
You're entitled to your opinion.
I totally get it, and I totally support that. So in no way am I suggesting such a thing. I just want that to be very clear, because this is going to be a divisive film. This
Yeah.
is going to have a lot of people pointing fingers
Yes.
and being like, no, you're wrong, or you're not a real fan, or, oh, you guys just want the same thing. I don't think that's the way to approach this movie.
No.
You know, I don't think that's the way to approach any movie,
Yeah.
but I really just feel like there's going to be a lot of infighting, and Halloween fans are a passionate lot, right? And there can be a lot of, like, you know, people arguing with each other and saying this and that about one another. You know, that's all for the birds, and we'll get the comments below that we're idiots and we like this movie and whatever. I'm fine with that. That's fine. I don't really care about any of that stuff. I didn't like how the legacy stuff was handled as much,
Yeah.
because I do find that to be the most rushed.
Yeah.
At least with the Corey Cunningham stuff, it is fleshed out, and it does get a lot of time to develop, albeit cut short, as I had said, and abrupt. The other stuff does feel almost tacked on, but Laurie always felt tacked on to me, right? This is something I've talked about in 2018. This
Yeah.
is something I talked about in Kills, and here we are again.
And for
Laurie always feels tacked on to this. Like, Laurie was always the thing that was holding this series back,
yeah.
you know, reinventing it for 2018. I just wish that they would have got rid of her altogether. So I honestly didn't even care about that as much. Even though I do have an attachment to the original, obviously, and seeing it end.
Yeah. For
Because, come on, guys. While it might not be this timeline,
there's so many other timelines.
there will definitely be another one eventually.
For me, I think that, like, yes, some of Laurie's stuff felt rushed, but I don't totally dislike her at all in this movie. I think that
this is the best
it
she's
has-
been in the
yes,
franchise,
it's
or
a-
in the franchise, in this
in
new
this
trilogy.
Yeah, I'll just say that I think that Laurie's character arc in this film as well makes the most sense to me, and I just really appreciated what we did with her character here. So, yeah.
I can't emphasize enough how improved the dialogue,
So improved,
the
yeah.
acting, and the character development is in this from the last one.
Yeah.
This feels like a monumental shift
Yeah.
for me. The whole evil dies tonight, them chasing around this guy and the whole town in hysterics and all that shit is gone.
Yeah.
Like, I think that this is another example of a movie where I feel like if this wasn't a Halloween film,
Yeah.
right?
People would be all
way,
about it.
way more into
I
it.
agree. I agree.
But I also, once again, am not suggesting that if you don't like this film, you're just a purist or anything. I'm not saying any of that stuff.
No.
I'm just saying I do think that this is a film that would be appreciated more
Yeah.
if it's not a Halloween film, much like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Or-
that's another,
yeah,
you know, or
Halloween 3, yes.
Season of the Witch, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So overall, I'm a very big fan of this movie. Easily my favorite of the three. And, you know, when it comes to divisive films that really splits the community, I am 95% of the time on the
side that likes it.
that likes it.
Yeah.
Not always. And that's not because I'm a contrarian. I don't give a shit.
No, you just
What
like
other
risky
people?
films, and also, like, it's good to have divisive films like this because it gets the community talking about new things and
Yeah.
not kind of rehashing the same debates over and over again. So we'll be doing a full-on spoiler discussion as well, so we can kind of talk about what we did specifically like and what any problems we have are with the film. But I'm so happy with it, and I just think it's a really cool movie.
Yeah, Laurie is the best that she's
Yeah.
been in the new trilogy. Allison is the best.
Allison,
Now,
oh man.
Allison actually reminded me heavily of Scout Taylor Compton's
Yes.
Laurie Strode
Yeah, totally
in
did.
Halloween 2. The Zombies Halloween 2.
Yeah.
Very, very similar there. Corey Cunningham, this is a character, this is the character, right? This is the big character. Everyone's going to be like butting heads over. You know, is he the worst thing that's ever happened to the franchise? Is he the best thing that's ever happened to the franchise? You know, he's neither. He's neither. You know, obviously, Laurie and Michael in the original film's the best thing that
Sure,
ever happened to the
that's
franchise.
the OG.
But I really like Corey.
Corey, though,
I really like
I'm
Corey.
telling you,
I get it.
Yep.
But this is going to be a film to discuss forever, and just like usual, we're going to be talking about this film for ages and ages.
Ages.
So, yeah, we'll talk more about it in full spoilers discussions. The review you guys actually want.
Yeah.
And here comes another train, so
it's our
we're going to
cue.
wrap it up, and we'll see you in the next one. And one last look at this gorgeous property.